Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be looking at how we can detach ourselves from circumstances, from situations that we cannot control. For this video, I've compiled a bunch of things that have worked for me when it came to detachment from certain thoughts, emotions, feelings, hoping that it will also work for you. Your reason for detachment needs to benefit you. The way I see it is that detachment equals increased attachment to the self. It's about having a balanced state of mind and avoiding being consumed by your own thoughts, emotions, and feelings. So personally, I noticed that detachment helps me decrease my sense of trigger. When I would be around a group of certain people or with one particular person, I got really triggered around them, maybe because of past experiences with them, maybe because of lack of apologies over the years, and that irritation and triggering does rise up when you're around those kinds of people. You start thinking that's how you are and that's who you are, and you start kind of like feeling bad about yourself. But it's so important to know that that is not who you are, because once you take yourself out of that setting, you realize that you're actually calm, you're actually patient, you're actually not so easily irritable, and that should bring peace to you, because it shows that that is not who you are. That's just how you react to certain people that you've had bad experiences with. So I think it's important to also understand that attachment is the source of a lot of suffering. You know, whether you're still attached to past traumas, whether you're attached to toxic opinions, feelings, emotions about yourself or about the things that you've gone through. In meditation, there's this activity that brings peace to you when the goal is to look for the self within. And when you realize that you can't find it, there's no certain like area in your body where the self sits. And you really need like try and look for it, right? To be able to notice that it's just emptiness inside. That, as scary as it can also sound, it's also very peaceful knowing that there is no self that carries these experiences with you. There is no self that keeps the definition of what you've gone through, you know, all the negative experience that you've experienced. Detachment also ends the cycle of suffering by allowing us to let go of things that we cannot control, or show us that we don't have to feel so strong about things that we cannot change. It will always do you more harm than good if you care so much about something that you can do nothing about. And so control freaks like me, we want to be able to control things. We want to be able to change things to our expectations. And that's where stress comes in. We get so stressed out because we just can't. Detachment comes in to show us that whatever happens, happens, and trust that whatever that is, we can handle. So bearing all that in mind, let's go through the best detachment techniques that I've applied through my life that have worked for me, and hopefully for you guys. First thing is focus on the present moment. Don't dwell so much on the past or future, because if you do that too much, you're gonna drive yourself crazy. Focus on the current moment. Focus on this day, how you're feeling, what you're doing, and just be happy to be alive. Meditation and deep breathing are exercise that you can do to reduce worries and regrets, because this is a way that you ground yourself, and it allows you to really concentrate on your emotions and feelings and anything that makes you feel bad. Because when you concentrate on a thought or feeling really intensely and for a long time, it starts to disappear and you realize, oh, it's just a thought, I need to let it pass. And this is a technique that has really helped me with my anxiety. My second piece of advice is limit exposure to triggers, whether that's setting the right boundaries that make you feel at comfort, whether that's removing or logging off of socials, avoiding toxic people that make you feel bad about yourself. Just avoid them. You know, you don't owe them such an explanation of why, because if they're not benefiting you, you're not benefiting them either by not enjoying their company. So you might as well do both of yourselves a favor and just avoid. Finally, it doesn't have to be a person, it could be a certain situation that makes you feel really triggered. So avoid those situations if you can, because anyway, life is going to put you through so many horrible situations that you don't want to be in. When you can have some kind of choice, just avoid it. Tip number 3 is have a go-to therapeutic activity. So to list a few that I personally really like doing and things I haven't tried yet, but I would definitely do if I needed to detach further, is journaling. I love to journal. I recommend it to everyone. An act of some kind of destruction. You guys, this is so therapeutic to break things. You know, there are certain rooms that people can go to just like smash things with a bat, which I love watching. I would totally go to one at some point in my life. So the act of destructing, whether that's writing something and ripping it apart, writing something and burning it into a fire, or I see videos of people writing certain things on a plate and then smashing it, just as long as obviously you don't harm yourself or other people. I am a huge believer that you need to release negative energy when you have it, because if you store it, it does transition into illness, into chronic diseases. And yeah, I really recommend finding a creative way to let go of things, because it's also some kind of activity that distracts, it's very therapeutic, it's very spiritual. So tip number 4 is a bit of a mental activity, and that is reframing your perspective. This helps your well-being a lot because a shift in perspective helps detach from failure or fear. Try to find a positive in everything to lighten the emotion that comes with the certain person or a certain memory. It can be like a gradual thing that you do every day to be able to practice thinking positive, and also learning to apply that mindset to your daily things that go wrong will make it easier when something harder or tougher comes. You'll be able to have a stronger mindset about it. So my 5th tip is to prioritize yourself. Truly show self-love. Do the things that you love, that benefit you, that make you happy primarily. Because doing the things that you love will distract you from the things that you have to detach yourself from. And the more happiness you gain from doing what you love, the more it will replace the toxic emotions and toxic memories and feelings about other things in your life. Also, the frequency proves to your brain that you are worthy enough to do the things that you love, because the less things you do for yourself, the more you think that you're not worth it, because you don't show the evidence to yourself, right, that you are, because you're not doing anything. So if you're actually going to start working out, if you're actually going to go and start, getting some beauty treatments done or buying certain things once a month that you enjoy, then you're showing yourself proof that you're actually doing the things that you like, and you're giving that to yourself because you do think that you are worth it. Okay, so tip number 6 I think is a really good one, and it's to practice detaching yourself from materialistic things first. It's a great place to start, and it applies that practice of detachment, whether that's an object, whether that's a piece of clothing, and later you apply that same logic to people and to memories and to thoughts, And when you are saying goodbye to materialistic things, really think about it, really experience it and reflect on it. Why are you saying goodbye? That it's okay to say goodbye. Your life is not going to be over when you let it go. You're just going to bring a new thing in that you're actually happy to have. And most importantly, decluttering your physical space can declutter your mind. Sometimes a really dirty environment can stress you out, and it's as simple as cleaning your space. Tip number 7 is crucial for control freaks and overthinkers like me, and that is to practice leaving control behind in conversations. So next time you have a conversation with anyone, it could be a stranger or a friend, whoever, actively practice listening to them. Don't relate, don't tell them a solution, just listen and react. And that way you let some control go, because even I notice in conversations when people say like, this went wrong, I instantly, the control freak is trying to take that under my control and be like, why don't you do this? Or why don't you think of doing that? No. Try to really practice letting control go in conversation, because that will also make it a habit in your day-to-day. If you practice it there, you can practice it anywhere else. And last tip is unsubscribe and unfollow. This is such bad structure to put in the end of my video, because I really just hope you don't unsubscribe from me. But social media has become such a big part of our life that it can be so beneficial to unfollow and unsubscribe from things that just don't benefit you, that make you feel shit about yourself. It's okay. I feel like there's so much guilt and embarrassment from unfollowing certain people because it shows that you're weak, or that you can't get over something that they've done, or that is just kind of petty. But who cares? So what? Realistically, they're not going to see you again. You're not going to see them again, especially if you're unfollowing. You don't want to purposely put yourself through seeing things or being exposed to things that you have negative associations to. So it's not personal to them. Let it go and don't think so deeply about it. I'm giving you guys that permission. Do what you need to do to make yourself feel more at peace. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!